Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for watching. We are going to be playing another game of Magic the Gathering Arena today, using Yarok the Desecrated as the commander. And we are going to be playing against another value-driven commander with Toxrill the Corrosive. If you've played Paper Magic, this is a very toxic, pun intended, commander to play against, but it is pretty expensive at 7 mana for playing 1v1, so I am going to keep this opening hand because we do have 3 mana, 2 3-drops, a 5 and a 6 that help us ramp into more lands, and I did draw into a Kami of the Bamboo Groves, which is going to get us up to that 5 mana to play Vorinclex and hopefully get things to ramp into those more explosive turns with Primeval Titan. We are missing some land drops here, drawing into a Cyclonic Rift, but let's go ahead and channel like we intended. Both of us are kind of doing the same thing. We're just setting things up. Him a little bit better and faster than me. I'm going to play this Reclamation Sage. I feel like he has a counterspell. Yep. Okay, the reason why I did this was I don't really want him countering any of my other things, and I feel like that was a bait to maybe get out one of those those counter spells. So what I'm going to do now is hopefully he doesn't have one, play Vorinclex to get 2 more lands to my hand. Oh my gosh. Okay, blue players being blue, he had more than one in his hand, and so he just took 2 things away that could potentially make me go faster and maybe slow him down a little bit, but he is cycling into an island when he had only 2 cards in hand, so that tells me that maybe he doesn't have a whole lot of options at the moment. Playing Toxrill, if you guys are unfamiliar with his ability, he does get to put a -1 counter on every player's end step, and then once those creatures die that have counters on them, he gets to make a little slug buddy that he can sack for card draw, which is a great commander. I love him, but he's definitely very versatile in terms of interaction. But let's go ahead and pitch this Gilded Goose after getting 2 lands from Primeval Titan, exiling his graveyard, and then also getting myself a blue and black card. Wow, just so much interaction here. He is taking away my Primeval Titan, getting the slug buddy, and swinging in for 7. Oh man. Alright, let's play Rusko. I'm kind of using this as a bait for him, just in case. I like Rusko, but I like my other cards a little bit better. Probably should have tried Yarok, but let's put Oracle out there. This is like my secondary bait, but he keeps looking at his hand. I think it's making me a little bit nervous here. But at least I get the Midnight Clock out. I get to shuffle the Power 9 into my library. Oracle is such a funny card in Magic Arena. It's like the only way you can play with a Black Lotus and some of those Moxes in a commander game. Let's not block here. Going down to 11. Starting to circle the drain a bit, but not too bad. I really just don't want him to have more of those slug buddies at the moment, kind of slowing things down a little bit. Let's drop this island that we drew into, and let's play an Aether Channeler. I want to bounce Toxrill to his hand, but I also want him to kind of force either playing some other cards from his hand, like removal, or... Alright, he's digging. He's going to draw a card by sacking his little slug buddy. So he's checking things out. So yeah, I'm going to choose the mode from Aether Channeler to bounce into his hand. Okay. Fatal Push. He is really just trying to get those slug buddies so that he can do some card draw here. Alright, he's drawn again. Alright, we finally got into his hand. Let's play Yarok. It's really suboptimal, but I I just felt, oh, okay, this is exactly what I was worried about. I don't know if he drew into this or if he had that and he was just waiting for a better target. But let's go ahead and hit him for 3. Alright, he's going to play a Toxrill again. So that means both of my creatures are dead. He's going to get 2 slug buddies. I don't want to waste this Cyclonic Rift at the moment. I'm okay with where I'm at right now, but this is a situation where if he counters the Cyclonic Rift, I'm pretty much dead. So let's go ahead and play Uro. Hopefully we can do some card draw, but if he does counter it, or if he did counter it, I could at least pay his cost to get him out of the graveyard. Okay, no targets for his ability. Gonna do some card draw. Alright. And this is really suboptimal, but he's tapped out with 3 cards in hand. I am going to overload Cyclonic Rift. Slow things down a little bit for him. Let's see. I mean, he has enough to cast Toxrill, but I feel like he sees how low and slow I'm going. Yeah, he's going to rebuild. Alright, got his Arcane Signet, his Cold Steel Heart, and his Guardian Idol right back out again. But now, oop, okay, he's going to preordain. I guess that's okay, because while it does give him, you know, the ability to dig down a little bit and then draw a card, he only has 1 mana open. So I think that kind of limits the amount of counter magic he can be playing at the moment. So let's get Yarok out there. And then let's get our Topiary Stomper. That way we can get 2 lands onto the battlefield. Let's get a forest and an island. Man, we have so much lands. This is crazy. And we're almost getting closer to that midnight clock to shuffling up and getting us back into 7 cards. Because right now our hand is looking pretty sad. Okay, board wipe. Perfect. Let's give Yarok back to command zone. Wow. Alright, he's swinging in for 3, and I'm going to have to... Oh, actually, no, he's exiling a card. For some reason, I thought that was a discard, but that's good. That's fine. Alright, we're up to 8. Oh, that's not a great draw, but let's get Yarok back out here. And let's play this little guy, which is probably going to die immediately. But I'd rather have him die than a Scoot Swarm, and... I don't know, for some reason... Okay, yeah, either way, Blood Chief's Thirst taking away my commander, and he definitely has enough to play Toxrill. And so that way, he's gonna get that slime counter, kills the guy, and gets a slug buddy. Man, I keep drawing into some terrible things here. And Yarok is costing 11, coincidentally the same as my life total. That's not looking so good, friends, but... Midnight clock coming up to 10. Let's just put out a body here. And let's hit Rankle. So at least he has to kind of make a choice. I'd rather just discard one of his cards. And I don't really care about my Hydra. Let's get Scoot Swarm out there. Alright, let's escape Uro. Alright, Gilded Goose, don't need that. Kami, Reclamation Sage, maybe not. Let's see. Get the Chocobo, Scoot Swarm, and Reclamation Sage. Okay, that's good. Let's exile those 5. Get Uro back onto the battlefield. Wow, that Brisket Bill is actually a great card to draw into if I had land drops at the moment, but kind of not a big deal because we're going to be doing the Midnight Clock. Let's just chump block here. 7 life, or 7 damage. Actually, no, let's, yeah, block both, get them both off the board. He is going to make some slugs, get Toxrill right back out. Alright, Just in case, let's tap it for mana before it goes away. Nothing we can really play on that upkeep phase, but let's play a Mox Ruby. Let's play Command Tower, Wall of Blossoms, Mind Flayer. Ooh, there's that silly Rankle again. Ooh, yeah, alright, let's play Mind Flayer, and let's try and steal Toxrill, because that would be really fun to kill his slug buddies for a change. Oh, he's sacrificing his own commander instead of me stealing it. I mean, that's a great play. I feel like that's the best play you probably could have done there. All right, let's get Topiary Stomper back out. Grab another land. And let's tutor. I am just going to grab that Emergent Ultimatum. That is such an amazing card in these colors. Alright, he had to hardcast Toxrill from the command zone. That is a pricey guy. Gets to draw a card with Baleful Strix, and he's going to be putting those counters on everybody. But he is tapped out, so we're going to play Emergent Ultimatum. Gotta get Titan. Let's get Masker Worm and Thassa. Let's see what he does here. I feel like Thassa is something that you probably is the biggest threat, because I can just keep blinking Mind Flayer, but the other two options aren't great for him either. But what I like about Emergent Ultimatum is it forces the opponent to choose like the lesser of three evils. So we're gonna get Titan of Industry. Gotta get that life gain back. 10 is a little low for my liking. And let's create another body on the battlefield just in case. And let's wipe those guys off of his board. He's going to lose 6 life. Yeah, let's play Rankle. Let's get Toxrill off. And let us discard Uro because we can just escape him. I'll sacrifice my wall. Alright, let's swing in. I think, ooh, that sucks. Sorry, I wasn't thinking about that, because Rankle, I could have given him haste and lifelink if he had no creatures on board. But I think we should still swing it anyways for 7. Alright, so he's down to 9, and now I have 14, and now he's actually down to 7. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. Okay, he's foretelling something, which is a little nervous, but oh man, amazing board wipe. And he gets his Baleful Strix back, which is going to draw a card. Great value. Alright, we have to play Mythweaver Pock and get the doubled Fable Passage. Unless he counters this. Nope, 14-14, now a 15-15. And let's get Uro back out here and draw a card and gain some more life. Alright. Ah, man. At this point, we're just playing Desperation. And maybe sacrificing some helpful things, but... or exiling some helpful things. But just getting Uro out there and also getting the 3 life. I think that's the most important thing. 2 Fabled Passages. I love this because you can crack them every turn with Mythweaver Pock, and you can also get those extra lands. Oh, okay, he beholded the multiverse with the Foretell, so he's digging. Scrying 2, then drawing 2 cards. Alright, let's see. Wow, 5 cards in hand. I have no cards in hand. This is not a great turn of events here, but I did gain some life, so I'm looking a little bit good there, and he's going to have to block that Mythweaver Pock at some point. Death Touch 1/1, no man, that's such a good... Baleful Strix is such a good card. I used to play that like in every blue-black deck that I had. Ooh, Torrential Gear Hulk. I don't know what he's going to go grab, so let's just crack this Fabled Passage just to get an extra land on the battlefield. I'm assuming he's grabbing a board wipe again. Let's see, though. What is he going to target? Oh, just a single removal. Okay. That's a great removal spell for Mythweaver Puck. I mean, I think that kind of puts me at a bad spot here. But with Uro, I love being able to just swing with him regardless, because you get the 3 life and you get to draw a card. So if I crack the Fabled Passage, I can get an extra card into my graveyard. So maybe Uro is going to be a viable target again to recast in the future. Let's go ahead and scry with Castle Vantris just to see what we got going on before we go to our turn. Okay, Ancestral Recall. Best draw card in Magic's history, in my opinion. 1 to draw 3 at instant speed. I'm kind of baiting out my commander here. I really want this Ancestral Recall to resolve. Probably should have cast it there, but man, the fact that he keeps looking at his hand, it makes me a little nervous. Alright, let's cast it. Probably should have done that on the cycle, because that would have only put him at 2 cards in hand. He keeps checking out his hand, though. That keeps making me worried. Oh, that's not a good. But let's do Sanguine Brushstroke. I love how this triggers with Yarok. So I'm going to get 2 Blood Artists and then 2 Blood Tokens. So that's going to help me with some life gain and life loss for him. Let's just do it right now. I don't really need the lands. Let's just discard and lose a life, gain a life for him and me. And let's see what we get. Oh, cool. Another land. Let's try one more time. Alright, we got Urtai resurrected. Can't cast him yet, but let's go ahead and see if we can't draw into a land. Nope. We gain 3 life. He's going to definitely chump block with the Baleful Strix. I do have enough cards in the graveyard to hard cast him. Ooh, I did not think of that. The double Blood Artist triggers brings him down to 1. Let's cultivate just to... Man, I'm getting tired of drawing lands, so let's just get these lands out of my library. 20 lands. Oh my gosh. I know some of those were not from my library with the Mythweaver Puck, as well as that channel ability very early game. 1 life to 26. We kind of turned things around a little bit here. Let's see what we got. He's thinking, he's thinking. Ooh, that's a great card. I know it's a board wipe for me, but there's going to be a lot of triggers on the stack. Okay, so I don't know if this was on purpose, just because he didn't think he was going to win, or he thought he was going to wipe my board and gain some life here. But what happened was he was active player and I was non-active player, so my triggers were second, so they triggered first, so he didn't get his life gain. Well, that was a win. I think that was a great game. Really fun, a lot of back and forth interaction. Thanks for watching, guys.